Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Let's Talk Tennis. And in today's discussion, well, it's more like a debate really, whether or not the current tennis players now are stronger mentally and physically than the players that were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Let's get into it. So the reason why I'm bringing up this debate is there was an Instagram post with Prakash from the Tennis Channel talking to Mark Philippoussis, Australian player, nicknamed the Scud, and he played in the 90s. So he was in the same period as Sampras, Agassi, those kind of players. It's actually a really funny, I found it funny anyway, Instagram post about basically they're saying that the current players are soft.
A lot of guys today, they wouldn't cut it back then, because we were a lot tougher, I mean, today, God forbid you do anything wrong, you tag the guy or something, you gotta give 55,000 apologies.
Can I just say...
You guys were a little different back then.
I mean, these guys are talented as incredible athletes, but my God, are they soft.
So there was a little bit of uproar, obviously, from this generation replying to that Instagram, quite funny comments in the Instagram post. So I want to cover that because I'm from, I played tennis in the 80s, mostly the 90s was my era, my decade of where I played most of my tennis. And so on that point of view, I can see what Mark Philippoussis is saying in the Instagram post, but also I can see the current players' perspective of how it's changed in my era to how it's changed in the current era, and that's regards to pressures, that's regards to fitness changes, nutritional changes that have developed over the years for the current players. So I want to talk about that. So in the 90s, 80s and 90s, we didn't have internet, we didn't have social media, and the current players now have all that. They have all the hate speech, the really hateful, not very nice messages that they have to, sometimes read, and we didn't have that. We also, in my day, didn't have the amount of press that the players have now. The responsibility for them as ATP Tour players, they have to do certain amount of press, and we didn't have that. So we didn't have those pressures to be up front in the spotlight, in the media, to be scrutinized by the world. We just played tennis. So we didn't have those kinds of pressures and stresses, and we could just focus on our tennis. Are players softer now than they were in my day? Let's talk about that. Well, firstly, let's talk about the mentality. The mentality in my day, we didn't have this, it's okay to talk. If you're feeling depressed or stressed. In my day, we were told to suck it up. Also, you were scared to talk because you felt as a male perspective, you felt like you were weak to speak up, and you're feeling a bit emotional. You would be classed as weak. So it was a different time. So we had to suck it up, and to be honest, that's not the best thing to do. It doesn't actually help you. But we didn't know that in those days. We just knew, get on with it, basically. And the current generation of players, it's more open now. It's more, how it should be, to be honest. More open to speak about your feelings, your worries, your stress, and get it off your chest. We didn't have, psychologists in my day to talk to. The current players have all that for them. Are they weaker mentally than we were? It's a tough thing to really assess if they are mentally stronger than us or we were mentally stronger than them. What I do believe, though, is it takes more mental strength in the current situation with the players because of all the social media, the pressures of press, media, spotlight. You have to be mentally strong to combat all that, to work through all that, and at the same time produce your tennis, because you're scrutinized more. In my day, as I said before, we didn't have those kind of outside pressures. Personally, I would say we were more cutthroat in our tennis, and what I mean by that is we were colder than the current players now. And the reasons for that is there wasn't as much friendships between opponents because it was dog eat dog. You know, they were taking food off my table, so we didn't look to have, you know, as many friendships on the tour as they are now. We didn't have that. We only had that in team environments. On the tour, you wouldn't generally have that many friendships because they were the enemy.
When I had a short ball, I went right at the guy. Always. You say sorry and you move on.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, man, you've got to send an email to apologize, a text, an Instagram post. Go at him again. Hit him again.
If we had playing a rally and my opponent was coming to net and they, pushed the volley, I would smack the ball so hard, no problem, right at their chest and a little hand up, apology, but, that kind of thing is part and parcel of tennis. You need to be brutal. This is a sport. It's like having, rugby or American footballers tackling, like proper tackling, or ice hockey, getting in there, or boxers and just go, really sorry, really no. That's the main difference between my day and the current players right now. And I can understand the reference to being that they're softer than the players in Mark Philippoussis' day. In that regards, I would say that's correct. But only because of the changes that the sport has gone through. I think you have a lot more friendships on the tour, a lot more respect on the tour. I mean, we always had respect in my day, but you would only respect so far. But when you're on the court, you can't show your player respect in the match. Okay, you can respect after, shake hands, if they beat you, be very humble and say, look, you beat me fair and square, blah blah. But as it stands on the court, no, you can't take no prisoners. Obviously, I'm speaking about it because I am from, I was born in 1971, so I saw, the Bjorn Borg, the McEnroes, the Jimmy Connors. So I watched them. I watched the Boris Beckers, the Stefan Edbergs in the 80s, and I watched the Pete Sampras and the Agassi era in the 90s, and obviously coming through with Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. So been very lucky. I've watched quite amazing eras in tennis, and this era in tennis for me has been the best era. The one thing I will say is the fitness and nutritional differences between my day and the current players now, because we had obviously fitness. We did, to a point, trying to think about how we're eating and stuff, but not to the precision of what the players do now. The different fitness they have now, the yoga, the stretching exercises. I mean, they have unbelievable amount of different training exercises, get their body strong in the right way. We didn't really have that. I mean, a lot of the players, we just rocked up, took our racket out, and played. Regardless, I mean, a lot of us didn't even stretch. You know, we would just play, and we would feel it. Obviously, after recovery was tougher, but yeah, I think that's a benefit for the players now. That they have that. I wish in my day we had that, because I think it would have helped my tennis a great deal. But we didn't. We didn't have the great facilities that they have now. And these days they have the facilities to help with their physicality and their strength. And that all bodes well for playing, great tennis, and also for recovery. So thanks for watching episode 2 of Let's Talk Tennis. If you have any comments, please put them in below. I'll try and answer. I think it's a very interesting debate. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one.